welcome back to episode number 40 of our Tranmere Rovers Road to Glory career mode. This is one of the most excited I am recording a video, and that's because, for those who don't already know, we have achieved automatic promotion already. We will be a Premier League team next season. Can we win the league though, is the big question going into today's episode. The chances of doing so are quite slim. Leicester are top of the league, a point above us, but they have got a game in hand. We would need Leicester to lose one and draw one out of the final three games. And of course, we need to go on and win our final two games to have the chance of winning the league. The likes of Burnley, Wolves, Everton are pretty much, well, they are guaranteed to go into the playoffs now. Watford have still got a little bit to do here. 2 games to go. They are 3 points above Hull City, who are 7th. So Watford would need to win their last 2 games, and that would keep them in the top 6 to face our tough games for Watford there, to face the likes of Burnley, Wolves and Everton in the top. I mean, you would pretty much think either one of Everton or Wolves would be favourites, but you never know. We saw Leicester bottle it last season when they went into the playoffs, and Sunderland was the team that got promoted. You would not have thought that would be the case. But anyway, going into the relegation fight, Bolton Wanderers are pretty much relegated now, but the likes of Sheffield Wednesday, Queen's Park Rangers, Derby County, Preston North End even, they are still in that relegation fight right now. I mean, if Derby County wants to stay up, they would need to win at least 1 out of their final 2 games. There's still something to play for there for teams who are looking to stay up. But what we will do first, before going into our last couple of games, which is Preston North End and Plymouth Argyle, we will give out a couple of contracts and hope we can keep those players for next season. So as we know, we've already given a few players new contract this season, the likes of Richard Kone, Charlie Webster and Kerr Gibb. I mean, we made Kone our highest paid player on 20k a week. I think in terms of the 3 players, Kone, Webster and Kerr Gibb, they're all on similar sort of numbers. You know, Kone's on 20 goals and 8 assists this season. That's a 28 goal contribution. And you've got Kerr Gibb on 14 goals and 11 assists, 25 goal contribution season so far, and 6 goals and 12 assists for Charlie Webster, 18 goal contribution season so far. It is realistic to put all 3 players on similar wages. I'm sure that shouldn't be an issue. So the plan is to increase Webster and Kerr Gibb's wages to closer to 20k, say around 18k. That would make sense. I'm sure they will be happy with that. The other one is Lauritsen. When we signed him, we gave him a wage increase from 4k to 10k. At the time, it made sense. But right now, for a player who's 75 rated, 10k seems a little bit too low. And few other players as well, the likes of Humphreys, who is pretty much been an important player for us this season. Excellent loan last season, the second half of last season, and on 3.5k a week, that needs looking at. And we've got the likes of Reece Williams, who is coming close to his 2nd season now. I mean, this is going to be his pretty much 2 years at the end of this season since we signed him. And Kumetio, a season and a half. We gave Kumetio 6.5k when we signed him, and Reece Williams 7k or 6.6k at the time. So that needs looking at as well. So a lot of contracts that I'm looking to give out here. It will take some time, but I'll try and speed it up just so I'm not boring you too much with it. You know what would be a cool feature to add to this game? I've been thinking about this for a while. It might be difficult for EA to do something like this, but automatic player contract increase. So when you sign a player, for example, you can say, okay, if you score 10 goals for us this season as a midfielder, straight away you can go from 15 to 20k. If you grow by this much in a season, your wages automatically increases based on those numbers. Something like that will be cool. I'm not sure if it's on Football Manager or anything like that. But anyway, I'm a big fan of renewing players' contract when they're producing for you. When the team is doing well, the players are doing well. I'm a big fan of giving them new contract. But to start here, Lauritsen going from 10k to 18k, 2 years extension as well, and 10k there in signing on bonus. He should accept that. That shouldn't be a problem. Reasonable offer. That is the first one sorted. And for Charlie Webster here, it's more about making him feel important, really. Crucial role, just a 1-year contract extension and increasing his wage from 14 to 18k a week. he should be happy to sign that as well. No signing on bonus for him. He's already got one this season, so that makes sense. I remember when we extended Care Gibbs' contract earlier on this season, I think I made a comment saying homegrown players, youth academy players, they generally don't tend to be given that much money as players that clubs sign. It happens in real life, but in this case, I will keep him on 18k. Exactly the same as the likes of Lauritsen and Charlie Webster. I think it makes a lot of sense. He will sign that. No contract extension for him. He's got 4 years and 2 months left at the club anyway. As for the case of Malcolm Adamson, he's another player that have been with us for a while now. Youth Academy graduate. He's actually made me proud, you know, how he's performed for us, especially in the cup competitions. He's been on almost 4.5k in wages for the last few seasons now. It makes sense again to renew this, especially the fact that we will be a Premier League team next season, so his wages needs to reflect his importance for us this season and in the next couple of seasons. So I'll leave the contract here for now. I know I wanted to give the likes of Reece Williams, Kumetio and Humphrey the new contracts, but I think I'll leave them up until next season. The reason for that being, centre-back is one of the positions that we will definitely strengthen next season. We need better qualities, especially for Premier League football. And if I try to give Reece Williams a new contract now, he will ask for an important or crucial role, given the level of centre-backs we have got. And that will be a problem going into next season, because at best, next season, he'll probably be a squad rotation player for us, exactly the same as Kumetio. At best, next season, he will be a squad rotation player for us. So as soon as we go on to sign 1 or 2 centre-backs next season and decide what we want to do with the likes of Reece Williams and Kumetio, we might need to give them a new contract then, which will probably be a squad rotation player. Humphreys is still growing. Exactly the same scenario for Humphreys. We will wait for now until we sort out our centre-backs. It's pretty much the end of the season, isn't it? So I don't think that should be any issues. But let's go straight into the games here then. We've got Preston North End to begin today's episode. We are away from home. We need to win to keep the chase on Leicester City right now. Come on, the Rovers. Let's not forget as well, Richard Kone can still win the Golden Boot. I feel like he was in exactly the same situation last season, where going into the final few games of the season, he needed to score a few goals. Of course, he got himself a hat-trick against Leicester City in the final game of the season. Van Aert, who is the striker for Leicester City right now, has scored 22 goals, and Richard Kone is on hiccups there. Richard Kone is on 20 goals, so not far away from the top scorer right now. And we know a few players have got new contracts just before going into the games. The likes of Charlie Webster, Care Gibbs, Lauritsen, those 3 players, we would hope we can surely keep them here next season. Aronson hits it, but Bergstrom, oh my god, I need to stop this recording. I need to stop recording and give myself a little bit of a break here if this hiccup continues. But right now, it's not too bad, and we've got a game to focus on. It's so unprofessional, man, having hiccups when you've got important games like this. But forget about the hiccups. One player who is not having a hiccup on the pitch, it is Odua. Cracking finish, and he goes into double figure for league goals this season. His 10th. There's Aronson back to Vicharin. He dotted off to Port. I've had to just pause the game for 5 minutes then, which you wouldn't see, just to get rid of the hiccups that I'm having at the moment. What a save again from Bergstrom there. He's had a fantastic season for us, isn't he? Definitely good enough to be our starting goalkeeper next season. I've been impressed with the signing, considering we got him on a free, but just off target there. I mean, Preston North End, they've got nothing to play for, but right now they're playing quite well. It's always fun to play against teams that are already on holiday. Some of these players are already in the beach right now. Nothing to play for. They're not going to get relegated. They're not going to get promoted. But right now, they have been the better team. Since after we scored a goal, and Preston North End have been by far the better team. I feel like if we don't score the second goal here, which we need to keep the chase on Leicester City, as we said, Richard Kone well up there to win the header from the and the Preston North End cross, looking to get a goal from the corner, but from defense to attack. It's so easy to break the AI down, by the way, especially when you're in front and they're looking to get a goal back. Every time you get a corner and you win that header, it falls to your player. It just feels so easy to go on to score goals from it. I hope it's fixed. It needs to be a bit better. You know, honestly, it needs to be a bit better. The fact that you can score so easy from corners when the AI have got a set piece, a free kick, a corner, especially when they're behind. Well, Callum Parkin there driving forward. This is what he does best. When he's in control of the ball like that, he's a difficult man to get off the ball. And the other player who's got a new contract is got to go here. Callum Parkin, by the way, an assist for him. Charlie Webster have got 2 assists in this game. Unbelievable scenes. 3-0. It looks like it will go into that final game of the season for us to see if we can win the title. We need Leicester to win one of the games and lose the remaining 2. We're not quite sure what's happened in the Leicester game just yet, but I suppose we will find out together. Come on, lads. Last game of the season, the chance of winning the title. This is the situation then going into the final game of the season. Leicester City are still top of the league. They have still got that game in hand. It is our final game, but Leicester have got 2 games to go. So we need to win against Plymouth at Prenton Park, and Leicester would need to lose their last 2 games, which will be against West Brom, and I'm not sure who the final game of this season is, but I don't see it happening, honestly. It's pretty much impossible. Still, of course, mathematically, it's still doable, but a lot needs to go our way there, which I don't think it will happen. But Watford is still on 71 points, and you have got Hull City on 69 points going into the final game of the season for both teams. So that's 2 points difference. Things can still change there. If Watford should lose and Hull City should win, I mean, Watford are away from home to Sheffield Wednesday. That's a tricky game for them. Even trickier for Hull City, who are away from home to 3rd place Burnley. And in terms of the relegation and battlers, you have got Queen's Park Rangers, who would need to win their final game, and they would hope Derby County would lose by quite a few goals for them to turn things around there. Derby County face Preston North End, and Queen's Park Rangers face Birmingham rather, at home, which, I mean, it's a couple of things still to play for in the final game here. We know the top 6 is still to play for, survival in the championship is still to play for, and of course, potentially, the league winners, still something to play for as well. Come on, the Rovers. He scored against Preston North End, didn't he? Richard Kone now on 21 goals. On the other hand, Vladislav Banat is on 23 goals. I feel like he's going to need to score a hat-trick today to win the Golden Boot, just as he did in the final game of last season. I've got a question though, important question, which I'm going to go through in a second. But before that, starting 11, some players might be making their final appearance for Tranmere Rovers today. The likes of McGee in goal, of course, Leo Connor, the likes of Mary, you've got Cameron in that number 10 position. Couple of those players, this might be the final game for Tranmere Rovers. It's in front of the home fans as well. So the good news for those players is they will go on to whatever happens here today, at least have a standing ovation from the home fans. I'm not quite sure which of those we will keep next season, from the likes of Cameron, Mary, Leo Connor, who's our captain, of course. I feel like they might just not be good enough for Premier League football next season. Nice little combination play there between Cameron, Adamson and Kone. Just couldn't get the touch right. Well, the question I was going to ask at the start, given that if we win this game, if Leicester go on to lose their last 2 games, we will be crowned league champions. But this is our final game of the season, and we wouldn't find that out until after Leicester have played their final game. How are we going to lift the trophy in that situation? It doesn't quite make sense. But Cameron finds Mulligan. Mulligan finds Adamson. The 10 was really good, but I thought I messed it up there. He's absolutely smashed it over the near post. I feel like on previous versions of the game, it was quite easy to score on the near post. I mean, kudos to EA. That's something they've fixed in especially the most recent version of the game. Scoring the near post, it's much more difficult now. but he's absolutely smashed that one home, Adamson, for his second goal of the season. And all I've been trying to do all game is get Richard Kone to get at least a couple of goals today. He will need to do so and hope Van Aert doesn't score in his final couple of games for Leicester as well. Webster showing good strength, crossing to the box, looking for Richard Kone, but it's well defended by the Plymouth defence. Oh, not too long to go before the end of the first half. Richard Kone, I don't think he's had any attempt so far. That's nice pressure from Ines Cameron. Make the run, Kone. Just make the run, son. What are you doing? Oh, he finds him, but I think he's offside. He finds the bottom left-hand corner, but the passage just comes slightly too late. Webster again has been so influential in this game. Him and Cameron have combined so well in that midfield position, and he gets it, Richard Kone. Come on, 2 more for you. Maybe you might just have a chance to go on and win that. Mulligan gets the assist on that near post again. Richard Kone gets his 22nd goal. The second half have been so boring, man. I mean, if I'd really focused to try and score goals as a team, we probably would have scored 1 or 2 more. But the fact that I've been so focused in getting Richard Kone to score 1 more goal here, it's just not quite worked out. Maybe this could be the one. He's onside. Kone. Oh no! I felt like he had the pace to get away from his man there, but it's just not meant to be for him. He will finish the season 1 goal behind Van Aert. Let's assume if Van Aert doesn't go on to score in his next couple of games for Leicester, it doesn't look like we have won the league, but we will find out shortly. I mean, what an amazing season it's been, man. There's been that many points picked up by the top 2 teams that the game have glitched in terms of showing our 100 points there. But let's take a look at the final league standing. It's quite funny because last season, remember, we stopped Leicester City in the very last game of the season from gaining automatic promotion. They ended up losing the playoffs and they had to remain in the championship. So both teams going on to pick up 100 points or more this season. It's been unbelievable, man. 100 points in the championship for Tranmere Rovers. That is crazy. Pretty identical record from both teams. You know, we won 30, they won 31, we drew 10, they drew 9, and both teams going on to lose 6 games this season. 70 goals we scored. That is a massive improvement on the 49, I believe, that we scored last season. And as we know, defensively, we are always solid. We have been since the very first game of this series. But Everton, Burnley, Wolves and Watford would go through the playoffs. I would like to see Everton promoted just because, you know, we've experienced the Merseyside derby this season. It was quite intense. One of my most enjoyable games to play this season. And I would like to experience that again, not only against Liverpool. I would like to experience that again against Everton next season. It'll be tough for us, you know, if we want a team where we would hopefully be able to get points next season from, we would want to see Watford promoted. And honestly, I wouldn't mind Watford because the Premier League will be tough next season. And to have 1 or 2 teams there that maybe we would have a little bit of confidence that we can get points against them, Watford would not be a bad shout. But Bolton, Sheffield Wednesday and Queen's Park Rangers, the bottom 3, Derby County, leaving it until the final day there to avoid relegation. What a season, man. And the Golden Boot winner for this season will be Vladislav Van Aert of Leicester City on 23 goals in 44 appearances. Richard Kone just a goal behind, coming close to winning back-to-back Golden Boot for him. He had 1 final opportunity as well in our last game, but he just couldn't get the shot off. That would have been his 23rd goal. Ivanovic in there, Fati, Francolino, the likes of Jack Clark, Dwight McNeil. You've got Liam Delap, Caballero and Ryan Felipe of Swansea in the top 10. In terms of assists, Charlie Webster, Kerr Gibb, 14 assists for Charlie Webster, 11 for Kerr Gibb. Both players deserve to be in the team of the season, in my opinion. They've had unbelievable seasons, especially Kerr Gibb, 14 goals and 11 assists in the league. Surely that is team of the season worthy. And you've got Adam Hoshek in there. Van Aert had a good season for assists as well. same as Francolino. To be honest, Richard Kone, 22 goals and 8 assists. Last season, he did not get a single assist, but to get 8 assists this season added to his 22 goals, that is really good. And Bergstrom, oh my God, he absolutely smashed that, didn't he? 21 assists. You've got Henderson in second, not even close, on 14 assists. Safanovic. You've got the likes of Seghetti as well, the likes of Pico Farrell in there. Only Richard Kone and Bergstrom, our goalkeeper, making it into the team of the season. There is no Leicester City player in there. That is a joke, man. Van Aert had an unbelievable season. He should be in there, in my opinion, with Richard Kone. But don't get me wrong, Francolino also had a good season. But that I can understand. But no Leicester City player in there. That is a joke. They've got 4 Everton players. Williams, Alcaraz, you've got McNeil and Daredov. You've got Vitic from Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn must have had a good season defensively. We don't have any defender, considering we kept the most clean sheets. And we only have Kone. The likes of Kergib produced absolute masterclass games after games. 14 goals, 11 assists. He's not on one of the wide positions. In my opinion, Charlie Webster should have also been in one of those midfield positions. They've gone for McNeil instead, who was a wide player in centre midfielder. Van Aert goes on to win the player of the season. Now, make that make sense that the player of the season is not in the team of the season. I have no idea how this game works sometimes, man. Oh my goodness, that is one hell of a managerial position, isn't it? Chelsea have offered us the managerial job to replace Enzo Maresca, who will be the Chelsea manager at the moment, offering us 45k a week. That is mad. Although, we have seen this happen a lot, haven't we? You see managers do well in a smaller team that take that big step too early and they end up getting sacked. That could be our fate if we take this job with Chelsea. I'm going to reject this offer. I am quite happy at Leicester City at the moment. We saw this with the Ipswich Town manager and McKenna at the start of the season. Offers from a couple of big Premier League teams. I believe Chelsea was also one of them at the time. But he ended up staying put at Ipswich Town. Yes, they got relegated, but something tells me he'll still keep his job going into the following season. The last thing we want is, take the high expectation job at Chelsea. We end up getting relegated. We get sacked and we're stuck with no team. We will remain with Tranmere Rovers. We've taken this team this far. It would be disappointing to give up on them right now, just when we have achieved that promotion, where we will be playing Premier League football as well next season. I will reject that one. Sorry, Chelsea. Now that we have seen through the rest of the other competitions, then let's take a look. Starting with the FA Cup here, Tottenham Hotspur, the FA Cup winners, and getting one down against their North London rival Arsenal. No longer Spurs, yeah. Of course, we've just saw them won their first major trophy in real life against Manchester United. El Sakiko there, Ruben Amorim against Ange Postecoglou. I was so happy for Heung-min Son, by the way. If there's any one player in England that deserves to win a trophy, it is Heung-min Son. He's been world-class for most of his time at Tottenham. And of course, his mate Harry Kane have done it at Bayern Munich as well, winning the Bundesliga. But I'm so happy for Tottenham and of course Heung-min Son. Not because I'm a Liverpool fan. I was just happy for Sonny to win that trophy. But Carabao Cup winners, it is Manchester City getting it done against Newcastle there at Wembley. Oh my God, Wolverhampton Wanderers have won the playoffs. It would mean they'll join Leicester City and ourselves in the Premier League next season. I would have expected really Everton to get that, oh my God, 4-1 there, the lost on aggregate to Watford. I did not see that one coming. Of course, Wolves winning 4-2 on aggregate against Burnley. The Super Cup winners at the start of the season, PSG beating Manchester United. You have got Champions League winners, Manchester City again, who have won 2 trophies this season. Europa League, it's Tottenham again. Oh my God, what a season, winning the Europa League just as they did in real life, but this time against Frankfurt. The Conference League, you've got Bologna there, the Italian side getting the better of the Spanish side, Valencia, in that finals of the Conference League. And for the other leagues, starting with the Premier League, of course, I'm interested to see where Chelsea finished. The fact that They offered us the managerial job, but City are winners. Chelsea finished 5th, so it's not a bad season for them, just finishing outside of the Champions League places right there. Arsenal, Liverpool, and Tottenham finishing in the top 4. Champions League football for next season as well for Tottenham. They won the Europa League. They would have qualified and through that means anyway. But Sunderland, Luton Town, and Sheffield United relegated. League One winners for the season. You've got Portsmouth rather, winning the league there. Stoke City finishing 2nd. And in League Two, you've got league winners Bristol Rovers, Northampton in 2nd, Grimsby Town there in 3rd. And for the French League, Ligue 1, Olympique Marseille winners, PSG finishing 2nd by a point, Lens finishing 3rd. You've got Nice finishing 4th. Jim Ratcliffe would hope he can do that with Manchester United. But in the Bundesliga, I believe the next one, it will be Bayern Munich champions. Oh my God, they ran away with that, didn't they? Dortmund there, far away from them in 2nd, Leverkusen in 3rd. And by the way, what's his name? Erik ten Hag has been linked with the Leverkusen job I saw today. That's a good move for him. I think it will fit perfectly in there. Juventus winning the Italian league, Inter Milan finishing 2nd, Roma there in 3rd for the Eredivisie. The Dutch league, Ajax winning the title, Feyenoord in 2nd, PSV and AZ Alkmaar 3rd and 4th respectively. Liga de Portugal, you've got Sporting Lisbon winning that one, just the points there ahead of Benfica, who finished 2nd. Any other decent leagues? Scottish Premier League, of course, the league phase, the preliminary phase before they go on to the knockout phases. Celtic in top of the league there, far away from Rangers at this stage. You'd expect Celtic to go on to win the whole thing. The Spanish league, Real Madrid winning it, Barcelona in 2nd, Atletico Madrid in 4th, and Girona there finishing 4th, which is a good season for them. And finally, for some of the individual performances of the team, Richard Kone making the most appearances, 44, Mulligan surprisingly 43 appearances, Webster on 40 appearances there, Oduor 36 appearances. He handed a transfer request for his lack of game time. Apparently, for goals, of course, we know Kone on 22, Kergabe on 15 in our competition, Oduor on 3rd. That's our forward 3 there, all scoring 10 or more goals in the league. That is a good, really good return from those forward 3. Lauritsen on 5 goals, Adamson 4 goals in our competition. In terms of assists, you have got, of course, Charlie Webster 14 assists in the league. You've got Kergabe with 11 in the league. How both players did not get in the team of the season, I really don't know. Richard Kone, really impressive with the assists this season. He wasn't just a goal scorer this season, he was also really creative. Last season, he did not get a single assist, but Cameron there, taking the creative role this season. 7 assists, 5 of them coming in the league, and 2 of them in the Carabao Cup. And as for clean sheets, of course, we know it will be, it's actually Kergabe on 26 clean sheet there. I don't take too much notice on that. It's just the goalkeeper and the defenders that I worry about the clean sheet for anyway. We need to do a lot of work with this team in the Premier League, don't we? We really need to do a lot of work. Don't forget, we've got £12 million to pay for our new stadium, which will be ready not next season, but in 2030. That's the season after the next one. We've got to pay £12 million. Now, I think we will get a budget of about 12 to 15 million pounds. Immediately, all of those are going into the new stadium. So we've got to pretty much sell to buy. And Oduor rather, have handed in a transfer request, which means he will leave next season. We probably would need a starting left winger. I don't think Mulligan will be good enough in that position next season. Benarus is heading back to Bristol City. He's only here on a season-long loan. There isn't any player we could sell for decent amounts of money. Okay, maybe Joseph Goodwin, who is out on loan right now. But other than that, I don't see where the money is going to come from to strengthen this team. Defense, we need work. That defense is not a good enough back four to survive the drop, to not get relegated next season. Bergstrom, I think, will do the job for us as our number one. I think it's good enough for our first couple of seasons at least. Midfield might not need too much work. Maybe one more midfielder, which will make Tyler Parkin a squad rotation up front, squad rotation player, and up front, maybe one or two players, a left winger and one other player that could play anywhere across the forward three might just be what we need. But like I said, I don't know where the money is going to come from, where the money is going to come from to get all of those sorted. But we will see what happens next season. Smash a like on the video if you have enjoyed this one, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new to it. Let me know in the comments if you're looking forward to our next season in the Premier League. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.